So I've heard you've just bought your first PDF pattern, or you're scrolling on Etsy and you see all of these super cute designs, but you're like,
what the heck is a PDF sewing pattern?
Well, today I'm going to be walking you through what your options are when it comes to translating your digital file into a physical pattern. You typically have 3 main options, and these come at 3 different price points. Whether all 3 options will be available to you will depend on the pattern designer, but your 3 different options are typically home printing, copy shop printing, or using a projector. The home printing option contains the most amount of prep. However, if you already own a printer and paper, this is essentially zero cost at the point of purchase. Essentially what this file is a version of the pattern that has been sliced up over multiple pages. It is your job to print all of those pages and then reverse engineer the file until you create the whole image, just like a puzzle. In this video, I will be showing you the step-by-step process on how to construct this, as well as all of my tips and tricks to make this as quick and painless as possible. I think I've personally done this process probably 30 times at this point, and I'm definitely much faster now. The second option is the copy shop file. This is pretty self-explanatory. It's just an A0 file as opposed to A4 or US letter. So typically these sheets are large enough to house an entire pattern without being sliced in any way. You just take the file to a copy shop, or you can do this online as well. I'm based in the UK, and the company that I use is called the Avid Seamstress. I have found that they offer the cheapest one out of a lot of the options I looked at, and because they are also a sewing company, they use slightly thinner paper. This is really useful when it comes to tracing and storing the pattern. They've not sponsored this video or even ever gifted me anything. I genuinely have just used them multiple times, and they've been great every single time. The third option is a projector file. This I have personally not looked too far into, and I still have yet to offer this in my own patterns, but essentially this is a file that you project using a projector straight onto your fabric, and then you use a rotary cutter and a cutting mat to cut out the pieces. The file will have a grid that you use to line up to your cutting board, and this is how you scale everything. If one day I do get around to it, I will definitely make a video if that's what people are interested in. Okay, that's enough talking from me. Now I'm gonna show you exactly how to construct your at-home printout. Here's what you need: paper, a printer, some kind of cutting tool. Ideally you want either a ruler and an X-Acto knife, or a guillotine, but I know a lot of people aren't gonna have a guillotine lying around in the house. If you do only have a pair of scissors, it does just make the process slightly longer. You're also going to need some tape. Masking tape is my preferred, and if you have a dispenser, even better. Finally, something to hold the paper down. I am just using these large washers, but you definitely don't have to buy anything. This is the paper I use. I get it from Amazon. It's 50 GSM instead of your standard 90. You can absolutely use your standard one, but this is just a tip from me. I do find putting the pattern together slightly easier when the paper is slightly see-through. It also makes the pattern a lot lighter to store, and obviously less paper waste is a huge plus. First, you want to take a chunk of it and tap it like this on a surface. You want to stack the sheets up as neatly as possible so all the pages print on the same place on the paper. This is what the corners of your stack should look like. Use the guides in your printer to line it up and make sure the guides have been pushed up as close as possible to the paper. Now we want to open our file in Adobe Acrobat. You can use any PDF viewer, however you will need Acrobat if you want access to the layers option. This is optional, but it lets you remove the sizes that you do not need. You will also have to do this from a computer, as the layers option is not available on the mobile app version. We are finally ready to print. Here are the settings you need. However, the most important one is the scale. You want to select actual size or custom size at 100%. Double-sided should be deselected, and orientation on auto is fine. Before you go ahead and print all of the pages, just print the first one. Use the guide at the top of each page to check if your printer is scaling correctly. If it's correct, continue to print the rest of the pages. Next, we want to cut off 2 sides on each sheet. Take about 5 sheets at a time and do the same tapping motion as before to make sure all the pages are stacked up together. Next, take your ruler and X-Acto knife and cut off the right and the top of your pages together. You might have to do a few passes to get through all the sheets. This is why using scissors is a bit slower, because you have to cut all of the pages individually versus doing 5 pages at once. If you have a guillotine, it's the same method as stacking all of the sheets and cutting them together. However, don't make the mistake of overfilling the guillotine. I have done this before, and RIP my old swordfish guillotine. Continue until you have cut all the sheets. My patterns are labeled with a letter and a number, with the letters marking the rows and the numbers marking the columns. Technically, you do not have to cut the top of the first A row since there is nothing above it to connect it to, but for the ease of explanation, I said to just do all of them. After everything is cut, you want to lay out your sheets in the correct position. Using the numbering format explained earlier, lay out your rows accordingly. I think the easiest way to do this is to connect 2 rows and then taping the entire row together. Here's a close-up. Use the paperweights to hold down one of the sheets, then line up the next sheet up to the first one, making sure the cut edge is on top. Use some more weights to hold down the second sheet, then take a piece of tape and carefully tape down without shifting either sheets. I just want to note here that regardless of the pattern, some of the sheets will come out about 0.5 millimeter shorter than the one next to it. I don't think it's from the file, I think it's just a margin of error from the printer itself. So don't worry too much if this is happening to you. Trust me, the weights really help with keeping things really accurate. Continue down all the rows until the entire pattern is complete. Your pattern is essentially done at this point. Just cut it out as you would before you go to use it. I can't lie though, sometimes I don't cut it out and then I put it straight onto the fabric and use the edges of the paper as a guide for the selvage, and then I just use a rotary cutter and a cutting mat to cut through both layers. That is a shortcut hack. I don't recommend it, especially if you're a beginner, but it is what I do. And if you're ever in a rush, it will save you some time. And on the note of sharing a hack my professor at university would never have approved of, along with a clip of me crying over love on the spectrum, I bid you adieu. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.